Hey, what's up? Hi. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lexa. For those of you who don't know me, I've been feeling a little creative lately. So we're gonna be making a corset, and not just any corset, it's a holiday corset. You can, wear it to Thanksgiving if you're really feeling it. If you're going somewhere, you can wear it to Christmas, even New Year's. It's like a 3-in-1. So if that doesn't flip your trigger, then I don't know what will. So let's just get right into it. This is what we're making. Can you see her? Yeah, here, I'll spin her. Look, she has ties, and then look at that lacing. That's what we're doing. This is it. All right, let's get into it. First, we need to make the patterns. I just used a corset pattern that I made a couple months ago to sew up a quick mock-up so I could draw on my desired shape and then also picture where I want the boning to be. So from there, I have my front, my side, and my back panels. Okay, the patterns are complete. Draped it on the form, patterned it out, trued everything. It definitely took a lot longer than expected, which is fine. So day one, did the patterns. Well, night one. It's midnight and I started at like 6. That took 6 hours. Oh my gosh, it took 6 hours. Well, I guess I did a lot. Tomorrow I am hoping to finish. I think I can do it. Here we are for day 2, and it's currently 11:25. We have a lot to do today. First, we need to cut out our patterns in both our main fabric and our lining fabric, and then we're going to sew them together, make the channels for the boning, put in the boning. It's gonna get done today. It will. So for our holiday corset top, I have this fabric, and it has like this, I don't know what they are, some kind of flowers, but it's definitely a Christmassy fabric. Could be fun. And then this morning I did find a black cotton. This will be the lining fabric. Without further to do, but we have a lot to do. Let's get to it. I folded my fabric in half so that I can cut out 2 pieces at a time, and also placing the center front panel right on the fold so that there's no seam going down the center front of the corset. So just pin down the patterns, also making sure that the grain line on the pattern is parallel to the grain of the fabric. Do the same exact steps on your lining fabric as well. Don't forget to clip all of the notches because they're going to be so helpful when we are ready to sew. And here are all the pieces laid out: 2 backs, 2 sides, and 1 center front on the fold, and the lining and the main fabric. Starting with the main fabric, we're going to place all of the seams right sides together. And this is where our notches are really going to come in handy, so match them all up, pin, and we should be ready to sew. And again, we're going to do the same steps with the lining. Once all the seams are sewn, we need to press them open, making sure that they're nice and flat. Okay, we have our lining sewn and then our main fabric sewn. I pressed all the seams flat, and now I should have done this before I pressed my seams because it probably would have been better. I'm gonna take them. This is the bust right here, so it's a curve, and I'm going to clip them. And I'm not too close to the seam because I don't want to make a hole, but you just cut out little triangles along the edge, and that'll help it to stay flat and that there's no puckering, just like that. You're gonna do this on both the lining and the self fabric. Place the main fabric and the lining fabric right sides together and match up the whole top edge and center back seams and pin it in place, and we're going to sew the whole way around. This part isn't entirely necessary, but I trimmed the seam allowance that we just sewn down to about 1/4 inch. But what is necessary is that we cut our corners, and just like we did earlier, we're going to clip into the curves as well, so that when we go to press, it's going to lay nice and flat. After pressing, just sew a quick top stitch along the sides and the top edge. I am marking where I want to sew my boning channels with a chalk pencil and then sewing right along those lines. Okay, it is 3:30. I have the majority of the corset done. All the hard parts are over. Now I have to put in the boning first, finish the bottom, and then put in some grommets, make some straps, put on the D-rings. I think that's it. But first, I have to go and get grommets, bias tape, and D-rings. I'm tired. Okay, I am back and I have gathered all the goods. I have black bias tape, gold D-rings, and gold grommets. Before we move on though, we need to insert the boning. This is 1/4 inch wide Ridgeline. Sliding it into the channels, make sure that the curve of the Ridgeline is going with the curve of the body. And my seam allowance is a 1/2 inch, so my boning will end just right above that, so none of it will be caught in the seam allowance when we go to sew. And to finish the hem, we're just going to sew on the bias tape. And this is what it will look like in the end. So this is where we're at. It's time for grommets. I'm placing 4 on each side, so 8 in total. And then attaching the 4 D-rings to the top. And here is the final product. Alright, so there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's been a while since I've sewn something, so it was nice to get back into it and to be able to share the process with all of you. There's a lot that goes into making a garment that I think a lot of people don't get to see or don't understand. I mean, it took me 6 hours to make the patterns. Anyways, if you did enjoy the video, give me a thumbs up down below, comment what you'd like to see next, and don't forget to subscribe. That's all for this one, but until next time, bye!